Hi, we're Jars of Clay.
And you're watching BreezeCast.com. We met. We met in college. We all lived on the same dorm floor, and as we wrote a few songs, we sort of officially were becoming a band, whether we liked it or not. And tossed around a couple different names. Jars of Clay was a name that actually I found in a scripture in high school, sort of carried it into college with me. But 2 Corinthians 4:7 says that we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. And those ideas of frailty, weakness, and then our faith being this strength and this foundation, we're sort of weaving in and out of our songs and things that we were talking about in college. So stuck.
Because I don't know that we felt a distinction between the two, and that was one of the things when we first started. When we found the name and all that, we wanted to make sure that our music was broad enough to consider everyone in the world that has a story. Because I think we feel like our art needed to be inclusive and conversational, because that's really how we learn and grow, is by experiencing God's truth, and that's not limited to certain topics. We find that God shows Himself to us in all different means, and so that's where the songs are born out of, human experience. That everyone can relate to. So, obviously our faith informs what we do. So, the audience has responded, especially the Christian audience has responded that way. But, and our hope is that we continue that conversation to challenge everybody in how we live life and what consumes us and what we're here for.
Reflects off the mirror ball.
Spa treatment.
That's right. I was going to say peanut M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms and spa treatments. Peanut M&M spa treatments.
Yeah, that's another story.
Yeah.
It's hard to point to any one thing, to be honest with you. We've obviously been given some amazing opportunities, just practically speaking, that has given our band, just the ability to continue putting food on the table, or food on our families.
As the president said,
as the president would say. So there's just the practical nature of that. But we've gone through seasons as friends of trying to figure out how to. We met when we were all between 19 and 21 years old, and have gone through a lot of different seasons together, and so it's there have been seasons where it's been easy to sort of work together, and seasons where it's been difficult.
And we're still trying to figure each other out and how to live more authentically with each other, because it is a complicated thing to be business partners essentially, and also friends, and advocates that way.
Great question.
I imagine the first one maybe.
Yeah. Or this last one.
Or the last one. Oh, geez, yeah. Really, they all have their challenges.
Different ways.
Yeah, I think we've been making music long enough to sort of recognize that sometimes it comes easily and sometimes it doesn't. And I think as a young band, you personalize those ups and downs. You sort of wonder, does it mean we don't have what it takes? Does it mean this is not going? You sort of take those ups and downs and you sort of try to figure out what they mean in terms of, does it mean I'm not, we shouldn't be doing this anymore or whatever. And I think, we've done it long enough to sort of know that actually that's just the way it is. What we do, as amazing as it is at so many levels, it still is work at the end of the day. And anybody who works at something they love finds out after a while that some days it's hard work. And some days
I think the pressure these days, at least, comes from ourselves, and maybe more of the fact that we have families that we're responsible for, and we care about certain things. I think in the early days, at least for me, I was more I would more easily put that pressure over myself, you know, to sort of because of these people that were watching me. But I think you know, maybe just as we've grown and matured a little bit, I want to be a good husband or a good friend or keyboard player because I need to be that. You know, I want to be the best at those things that I can be, not because there's kids watching me or because I need to impress them. Hopefully that's less for me to worry about. It's in the equation somewhere.
I think that part of having doing this for a while is you realize I think you in a healthy way begin to realize how little you have control over. And I think doesn't mean you don't have control over anything, but it seems like when you begin, it seems like there's so much you can either control for good or for bad. And these days it seems like feels like it's a lot less on the stuff I can control. Yeah, we've been working over in Africa for about the last 4 or 5 years through a nonprofit that we started called the Bloodwater Mission. And the Bloodwater Mission is a nonprofit that's really set up to provide resources and for folks and communities in Africa to see that they have better access to clean water and better health care, so that the effects of AIDS in their communities can be mitigated or at least addressed. And so for us, it was really begun one because the situation, the crisis level of the situation, kind of hit our plates, like it did a lot of people in the U.S. about 5 years ago. And so for us, it was just a response, knowing that we couldn't stop AIDS, or we couldn't, but we could. We did have a voice with a few people that we thought would care about this, and so we sort of set up our work in Bloodwater as a way to kind of tell people about what was going on and to invite them into a way to make a positive change.